So I admit that Jojo might not be gay. Yes, Jojo and Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. I finally watched the first 3 parts, and I gotta say it was one of the weirdest experiences of my life. Like the part 1, the part 2, the part 3, it's like a generational story, and I've never seen something like that in an anime. So the concept is very unique and very good. And so in this video, I'm gonna talk about my experience and how Jojo actually changed my... It actually didn't change anything. As someone who was involved in the anime and manga community, I knew that the real deal began after the part 3, when the stands were introduced to the series. So like part 1 and 2, they were good. Sometimes was bored, especially in part 2. I was bored a lot, but I still kept watching. I didn't just give up. And part 1 was actually really good. I don't get why people don't like part 1. It was a nice story, it was short, it was good paced. But in this video, I'll be mainly talking about part 3, which was like crazy. As a One Piece fan, I love adventure animes. I love it when like a group of people, when like a group of friends go on an adventure and when they explore new places, new countries, new islands or whatever. So Jojo part 3 was definitely my thing. I can say that. Right now I'm continuing with part 4 and it is one of the most praised part of Jojo as far as I understood. And when I'm done with part 4, I'm gonna make a video about it too. Of course, like if you like this video and if you want me to keep going on. But now let's talk about the first 3 parts. So where to begin with? I guess I have to talk briefly about part 1 and the part 2, although they are not like really good parts, you know what I mean? Like part 1 is just the beginning of the story, how Jonathan and Dio became like enemies. Part 2 was good too, but I felt like it was an unnecessary season. It felt like the main goal of part 2 was to introduce Joseph Joestar to us. And like Joseph, hilarious guy, I really love him, especially in part 3 when he gets old and when he is like still this crazy guy. He might be my favorite Jojo, but I don't know yet. I didn't watch all the parts. But in general, part 2 was boring for me. And I saw a lot of people who claim that part 2 might even be better than part 3. No, dude, that's not the case. I'm sorry, part 2 was boring as hell. As of right now, my favorite part is part 3 and nothing beats part 3. I mean, I don't know, maybe the next parts will be better, especially part 4 and part 7 is very praised as far as I understood. But I guess part 7 is not animated yet, so I don't know, we'll see. But like as of right now, part 3 really convinced me that Jojo is a good anime. The part 3 starts with Dio's return, and now our main Jojo is Jotaro Kujo, who is like basically the main Jojo. I mean, when you talk about Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Jotaro Kujo is the one who comes to your mind first. He's like so cool, I swear to God. We all have to agree that Jotaro Kujo is the most iconic Jojo in the whole series. And unlike the first 2 parts, part 3 does not have a linear story. It's more like episodic. So in every episode, something different happens. But they all together combine and make a good story. And I swear to God, lots of people told me that part 3 might be boring at some times, but I was almost never bored. Every episode there is a new character, there is a new adventure, there is a new enemy, and I loved it. It grabs you and like doesn't let you go. I swear to God, you can binge watch Jojo part 3. I know it's like 48 episodes, but still I was almost never bored. And we also have to talk about the stands. Like the stands are introduced in the part 3 and it is one of the most creative anime systems I've ever seen. And it is so obvious that Jojo inspired lots of different animes and lots of different like battle systems, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess Jojo is a very old anime. I mean, the manga is very old and they animated the series a lot later, I guess. But like the stand system is very creative. Like that's why we definitely have to respect Jojo. And like, by the way, who says it's gay? I mean, okay, there are some crazy weird characters and they make some funny poses, but like that's just funny, that's not gay. And the story is really good. It's basically a road trip from Japan to Egypt. We see like 2 Jojos, Joseph and Jotaro, and they team up with some other guys who are like very hilarious, crazy guys. Especially I loved Polnareff. Dude, he's like one of the funniest characters I've ever seen. They encounter tons of different stands in different countries, and like the depictions of some countries are extremely stereotyped. It might even be like offensive at some cases. Especially like India was really crazy. Like the pig in the toilet, I've never been in India, but I hope it's not true, okay? I don't know. And like the early stand powers were like really basic. I mean, I could tell they were still figuring some things out, but later on, the stands become very complex and very creative. So the team includes Mohammed Avdol, Polnareff, Kakyoin, and Iggy, the dog. And their main goal is to beat Dio. And I get it, like the episodic format might be boring for some people, but in my opinion they made it really good. It was like almost never boring for me, because like there are some small arcs for 2 or 3 episodes and they are really good, but after that you are suddenly in a different country, in a different story, in a different arc. It might not hit the same, but they are all below average level. Like that was my feeling. And that format allows the other side characters to get the spotlight basically. Like there is a special episode for Polnareff, or there is a special fight for Kakyoin, or like Iggy for example. At the beginning, Iggy felt like a waste of time. Like I didn't really understand why Iggy is on the team. He was like an arrogant, annoying dog, you know what I'm saying? But that special Iggy episode where he fought against this bird was really good. He earned our respect, and especially his death. I mean, sorry, it was a spoiler, but like, I don't think that there is anybody who has not watched Jojo. If you didn't watch Jojo, just don't watch this video. Go watch Jojo part 3. So I'm going to give spoilers, I'm sorry. But like, Iggy's death, definitely respect Iggy. And it's like these kind of episodes, these kind of special episodes where the side characters are more deeply introduced to us, what makes the story and the team and the feeling like really good. The arcs become more emotional and you start to develop a bond with the characters. And the same thing with Avdol, like he sacrificed himself 2 times, and in each one of them I got very emotional. In my opinion, Joseph also had to die. Like, come on, why is this old man still alive? It didn't make any sense to me. He should be in peace. But anyways, I know it's genuinely sad when like characters die, but it is also very good that the series is not afraid of killing characters, because like it's a long time story. You know what I'm saying? Like the story is about different generations. That's why the characters have to die at one point. But like Joseph not dying felt like a missed opportunity, you know what I'm saying? The story could be more deeper and it could hit more harder with that. Dio's stand, the world, was amazing. It was very well thought. It was really strong. It was really cool.
Behold the world!
The way it's animated, the power itself, the sound of the power is like really iconic and really good. And like Jotaro's stand, I guess it was a similar kind of stand. I still didn't exactly get it, and some people like didn't like it, but in my opinion it's a fine stand. I mean, it was obvious that Jotaro's stand had to have a special ability, and what it was came out very late. In my opinion, it made sense in the context. Now let's talk about the Jojos. Joseph is hilarious, definitely. His funny English lines and his chaotic energy make him stand out, even if he is like very old. Like he just randomly shouts, "Oh my god," which is like very funny in a Japanese accent way, I don't know.
Oh my god!
Him and Jotaro definitely carried this season. And like Jotaro is the guy who comes to mind when you say Jojo. He is the definition of Giga Chat. Super iconic, extremely stylish, extremely cool. His voice is really cool. I guess he has the same voice actor with Erwin Smith from Attack on Titan. By the way, we love Erwin Smith. Like, he's cool in every way. In part 4, he gets toned down a little bit, but he's still cool. He's still the same cool guy. And especially the scenes where he talks back to his mom, like, "Shut up, B-word, I don't want to say it." And if we have to talk about the side characters, we have to talk about the side villains. Every one of them was very crazy. At the end of the story, there is like this flashback scene, you know? And like when you see this flashback scene, you think yourself like, dude, holy shit. We encountered so many crazy, different, weird guys. It was a really good adventure. Like the monkey with a ship stand. Like the stand is a ship. Or like we had those brothers, like Oingo Boingo brothers, or I don't remember their names. But like the younger kid, he was like drawing manga or something like that, and his manga became reality. Like it was such a weird and creative power. And like those episodes were like Kakyoin or Polnareff or Avdol and stuff were introduced, or especially these Iggy episodes, they were legendary. And it was this kind of a storytelling that hooks you. It basically makes you addicted to JoJo. And I'll be honest, the story could have been a little bit longer, but this could also make it a little bit more boring. So I think it was in the perfect length. The pacing was perfect. 48 episodes. It might sound a lot, but guys, it is perfect. It's perfect. It's really good. And like you really get it. This part is a fun part. It's really made for fun. And the main goal of JoJo is to make you have fun. You really get that. If you look at it, the story is not that deep actually. Like they go in different countries and they learn a little bit new facts about those countries. Then they fight like random stand users and then they keep going on. But you have to have fun and you have to enjoy the moment. Like this is what I like about animes like that. Like you have to enjoy it and you have to stop rushing. Live in the moment. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the journey, and like let the adventure flow. From now on, I like JoJo, and JoJo is not gay anymore. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say that again, I swear. But is it One Piece level? Nah, anyways, I'm not gonna compare it to One Piece. I mean, you just shouldn't take it seriously until they arrive Egypt. On the way to Egypt, like every episode is like fun. In this episode, let's have fun with that, and then in the other episode, let's have fun in another way. But when they arrive Egypt, it gets more serious, and even then, it's like really hilarious. Like for example, there was this magnetic woman, or as I said, like Oingo Boingo brothers. I don't remember their name. I mean, it was very creative, and it's very good. Or like the episode where they gamble for their lives, for their souls. It was really good. And also the episode where they play basically video games. Like they play video games, dude. It's so creative, it's so cool.
Yes, 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 yes.
Those stands were not really complex stands, but the way they used those stands and the episode were like really creative. The story was really good mixed in. At the end, like when we started to reach Dio and when they started to like come close to Dio, that was when the story got more dramatic, you know what I'm saying? They were all like very touching moments, definitely. Like Ikki's sacrifice, Muhammad Avdol's death, Polnareff's dedication to fight Dio and he does not escape, and like Kakyoin died so fast, and his last message was like crazy. He wanted to help to the Jojos to beat Dio. I mean, it was a very touching, very deep, very emotional moments. And the death of all of those characters were meaningful because we had a bond with those characters. Because those characters had their special episodes. Like, why was I sad when Iggy died? He was actually a very annoying guy. But that special Iggy episode made him Iggy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, anyways, some people say Polnareff also had to die. I mean, I don't know, I don't agree with that. I mean, I always got the feeling that Polnareff is gonna die, but he didn't die. It was like a shock, it was a surprise for me. Instead, Kakyoin died. I thought Kakyoin would definitely never die, but like it was a good surprise in my opinion. I'm satisfied with that. Some people say Polnareff has to die, like, dude, just leave him alone. And like it's very understandable that the characters die because in every part we go like 20 or 30 years ahead, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe 50. So the characters will eventually die. And that's a good thing for an anime, to be able to kill characters. That's good. Like the death of Avdol, Iggy, Kakyoin, they made this part really legendary. And dude, like come on, again, Joseph had to die 100%. At that point, he had to die. Like, why? Why is he still alive? Why did they bring him back to life? For what purpose? I don't get it. It was unnecessary in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I guess I talked about almost everything. I mean, Dio's stand was like crazy, I already said that. And like, I read a lot of comments and lots of people were like surprised about Jojo's stand power. I mean, it was obvious. Jojo's stand's power cannot be just like, he has to have some kind of a power. It was obvious, right? Like very precise movements. Oh, damn. That cannot be a stand power. And also, like, Joseph's stand power was also really lame. Like, bro cannot use his powers without a television. And those Jojo poses are really crazy. Especially, like, how can Polnareff do that pose? Like, how can he do that? It's impossible. So, if I have to wrap it up, Jojo Part 3 was really good. I mean, the character designs, their styles, the poses, the stands, the different creative stand powers. The villain, Dio, is really cool. The main character, both Jojos are Giga Chats. One is old, the other one is young. The side characters are perfect. They are like perfectly balanced, and like you can really bond, you can really have a connection with them. I mean, it's absolute cinema, definitely. And like this episodic story was a really good choice. It definitely made us bond with the characters, and because of that, at the end, you get really emotional. With a linear storyline, you cannot make this effect so easily. And like this is also the reason why Jojo is like 48 episodes. And also they could have ended like Jojo in maybe 20 or 25 episodes. There is not that much material actually, but you see like the exploration, the atmosphere, the different countries, it all adds up and makes a perfect story. For its own time, like when Jojo manga came out in 1989, it's a very revolutionary anime. After watching Jojo, I realized it actually inspired good series like Hunter x Hunter and stuff. So because of all of that, I respect Jojo. I will also make a video about part 4 when the season ends. I mean, when I'm like finished with part 4. And like part 4 is also really crazy. Like there are more creative stands. I really like part 4. I watched like 10 episodes or something like that, and it goes really good. And I hope like the part 5, part 6, part 7 and stuff, I hope it always gets better, I hope. So this is all what I have to say about Jojo part 3. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see the part 4 video, tell me in the comments. See you in the next video.